It is 3:57 in the morning. The match starts at 4. This person has been awake since 3:40. Every 4 years, a thing happens. Billions of people rearrange their lives around a ball. They wake up at 4 a.m. They call in sick. They feel feelings about countries they have never visited. This is not a coincidence. These are laws. They were already in effect before this episode existed. Welcome to the laws of the World Cup. Law 1. Borrowed nationality. This person was born in Ohio. They have never been to Croatia. They could not, until 9 days ago, locate Croatia on a map with high confidence. They are currently saying, we need a goal. We're getting robbed by this ref. We've never made it this far. There is no we. There was never a we. This person holds no passport, no relative, no childhood connection to this country. The relationship began 9 days ago, when a bracket told them who to be. And yet, watch their face during the anthem. That is not performance. The eyes are doing something involuntary. The World Cup grants a temporary citizenship no government recognizes and no oath requires. It does not ask for loyalty. It only asks for 90 minutes. People accept the terms instantly, without reading them, the way they accept terms for everything else. The law. For the length of a match, allegiance requires no history. It only requires a jersey and a kickoff time. The citizenship expires when the final whistle sounds, and for 1 or 2 days afterward, when nobody has told the body yet. It grieves a country it never had. Law 2. The unearned grief. 41 minutes ago, you were not a fan of this team. You were not certain of the team's colors. You had not correctly identified the team's continent. You are now watching them lose in the round of 16. And something has happened. There is a tightness in the chest that was not there at kickoff. There is a specific silence after the final whistle. You will not speak about it. You will also not be okay. The person next to you is not a fan of this team either. They, also, are not okay. Nobody acknowledges this. That is part of it. The law. 41 minutes of shared hope is enough. The grief does not require credentials. It arrives whether you earned it or not. In fact, the grief arrived before the final whistle. You were the last one to find out. Law 3. The group chat resurrection. There is a group chat on your phone. It has been silent for 7 months. You forgot it existed. You forgot some of these people existed. Then the draw is announced. Within 4 hours, someone who has not sent a message since November has posted a bracket. Not a message. Not a hey. A bracket. Fully filled out. With predictions. This person has been thinking about this. The group chat does not ease back in. It returns at full volume, immediately, as though 7 months of silence was simply a very long loading screen. The chat was never a community. It was a venue. Venues don't close. They wait for an event worth attending. The law. The group chat was never dead. It was waiting for something large enough to justify the notification. Law 4. The watch party migration. The watch party begins with people spread across the room. There are chairs. There is a couch. There is a beanbag nobody claimed. People are using all of them. By the 70th minute of a match that is level, everyone is in the same corner. Not the same couch. The same cushion. No one announced a migration. No one said, let's all move over here. The migration happened the way tides happen, without a meeting, without a vote, according to a law no one knew they were following. There is a person who started the match in a chair on the other side of the room. They are now behind the couch. They don't know when they moved. The chair is still warm. The law. When the stakes rise, humans reduce the space between themselves. Not because it helps. Because it has to. Law 5. The penalty shootout covenant. When the match goes to penalties, the room undergoes a change that cannot be explained by sport. People who were talking are no longer talking. People who were eating have put down their food. The food has been put down without a decision being made. It was simply put down. Nobody has touched their phone. There are messages on the phone. There are always messages. The phone has not been touched. By the third penalty, strangers in the room have synchronized their breathing. This has not been discussed. There is no agreement. There is simply a shared breath held by people who met 3 hours ago. I know how this ends. Either the room erupts or the room goes silent. Either way, the moment before, the one where everyone is holding the same breath, that moment will be remembered longer than the result. The law. A penalty shootout does not produce suspense. It produces communion. Briefly, involuntarily, and completely. Law 6. The room read. The morning after a match, something happens in the first 4 seconds of walking through the door. Nobody speaks. Nobody has to. The person arriving performs a scan so fast, it doesn't feel like a decision. They look at the room. The room tells them everything. And they know, before they have removed their coat, before they have reached their desk, before a single word has been exchanged, whether today is a day when the match can be mentioned. This information is transmitted without language. It is transmitted through the angle of someone's shoulders, through whether the coffee machine area is occupied, through a quality of silence that is different from ordinary morning silence in a way that has never been named but is immediately, completely legible. The person who lost last night is not broadcasting grief. They don't have to. The room is already reading them. Nobody asks who won. This is the part people notice afterward, that the question was never asked, that it simply wasn't necessary, that by the time anyone could have asked it, the answer had already been in the air for 11 minutes. I have watched people walk through this door many times. They read the room before they read the room. The conclusion arrives before the evidence. The law. After a World Cup match, the result does not travel through conversation. It travels through the atmosphere of the building. The words, if they come, are never first. Every 4 years, something very large happens, and everyone inside it briefly forgets to be separate. The borrowed citizen forgets they have no claim to this country. The grief forgets to ask for credentials. The group chat forgets that it was silent. The watch party forgets that the couch has a capacity. The strangers forget that they haven't breathed together before. The building forgets that results need to be announced. This is not about football. The World Cup is the only event large enough to give strangers permission to feel the same thing at the same time. Loudly, publicly, without embarrassment. And so, every 4 years, they do. Whether they plan to or not. The unwritten laws, written down. There are others.